What's going on, people? We're back with the 20 season 23-24 predictions. We're going to give our top four, Golden Boot, and the three teams we think will be relegated this season. Dan, I'll let you fire off with. Have you got your top four sorted?
Right, my top four is gonna be in any order: Man City, Man United, Chelsea, just because they've got no European football, and Liverpool. That's my top four.
Ooh.
I don't think Arsenal will qualify. I think with the added burden of the Champions League, I think they'll crumble.
See, I'm different. They're in mine, but I've kind of positioned mine already. So I've got City winning the league, even though I heard, I think it was yesterday, I was hearing no English team has ever won four league titles in a row ever. So I was just thinking, as much as you'd like to see another winner, I just can't see them not winning it at the moment.
Mm,
Like the way the teams kind of rebuilt, even with the loss of Gundogan, I feel like they've recruited right. So I've got City winning it.
yeah.
Then I was torn with the order of second, third, and fourth, but I've
Mm,
gone with United second because I think with some of the players they're getting out, I
mm,
think he's pretty much going to have the squad the way he wants it this season. So I've got them finishing second. Then I've got Arsenal finishing third, but I do feel they could challenge United for second. I do
mm,
get what you mean about Champions League and that playing a burden, but I think with it being Tuesday and Wednesday, I think they might fare a bit. The only thing I'd say I'd worry about them because I think they obviously now will be playing their starting 11 as opposed to gelling in some of the younger players. And then
mm,
I've got Liverpool finishing fourth. I was gonna go with Chelsea, but I think with especially with Nkunku being injured now, and I don't really think Chelsea really have that firing power, and it's a very young team. I do
mm.
think it's going to be like a season and that before they actually gel down and proper put like a challenge in. So I'm only on that. I've got Liverpool just finishing fourth. But I do feel we may see, and
Mm,
especially with the way Emery's going, Villa
yeah.
possibly pushing and troubling the top four. I think they will do better than what they will do something similar to what Newcastle did last year, where they're there or thereabouts. Except I think they may just fall short on this occasion. But I do think they have the ability to kind of push and challenge them.
Mm. No, I heard that. It's a difficult one because you always want outsiders to try and challenge, but I personally think it's going to be pretty straightforward. I think they might push, but I don't think there's going
And
to
I think
be
they'll fall short.
it.
I think they will fall
Yeah,
short eventually. So who did you say? United, Chelsea, and who was in your top four?
I'd
Liverpool.
had City, United, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the last season that it's just top four?
Yeah,
So that is my top four. I don't think Arsenal will make it. I think just too much pressure, because they have to do better. And obviously, if you look at their squad, as much as I don't think it's improved greatly, okay, you can say Rice is better than Shaq, of course.
that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting season to see how he actually fares at this at the higher level now. I think, like I say, I
Mm,
think he's got the ability, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out over the season, especially like when you add in the Champions League games. But I'm happy for him in especially in the way obviously he managed to win
mm,
the thing for West Ham and then obviously got the big move. So it's
mm,
going to be interesting. Um, but yeah, so like I say, I look forward to seeing how this season plays out because without no World Cup in the middle, I can't be happier. Like, because that really
yeah.
just spun the season last season. I
Hmm.
think the only thing we've got to worry about is the African Cup of Nations. And as a Palace fan, I think we got a good few players that have got teams that have qualified. So it's
Yeah,
going to be interesting. So in terms of
definitely.
relegation, Who have you got for your relegation pick?
Right. Right. This is straight off the dome. So I'm going with Sheffield United because I don't see how they've improved their squads. Their squad's actually weaker. They've lost their striker, I think, to Marseille. They've lost a midfielder to Burnley. You know, and
Yeah, they've not really
I don't,
recruited either.
yeah, I know they've recruited because they were one of the teams who actually recruited more players than West Ham. Because I think West Ham was the only
West
team where they
Ham,
recruited.
I
Yeah.
think they're on one now because they announced that signing today.
What was the signing for West Ham?
What's his name? It's a Mexican brother. I know that much because I remember seeing the video for it. Because I was,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know who
I
you're
was,
talking about. Yeah, yeah, the guy
I
from
think,
Ajax. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, him. 'Cause I saw the
Oh, he
video and I
got
kept seeing the
oh,
Mexican flag.
he got announced. Yeah.
Yeah, it got announced.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'm going with Sheffield United because I've not improved their squad. Wolves because as much as Gary O'Neill did a good job at Bournemouth, I don't think he's gonna have the same magic at Wolves. It's a totally different squad, totally different set of players. It's a total mess. Like the beginning of the season, like all of the season is important, but the beginning of the season where you got a brand new manager and he's had no preseason, no nothing. Yeah, good luck.
you know,
Like I
it's
don't,
mad.
I yeah,
I didn't even know they sacked their manager. I think I was watching the Carabao Cup game yesterday, and I think it was just as they was doing the draw. I heard them say that with Lopetegui's left. I was thinking, hold up, like has work
yeah,
consumed you that much? I didn't even see the announcement or see anything in regards
yeah.
to that.
Yeah, it's mad. So Sheffield United, Wolves, and probably Luton, I would say. As much as I want Everton to go down, yeah, I'll go with those three.
It's funny you say that because, like you, I've got Luton and Sheffield United.
Mm,
Obviously, I was toying with the idea of Wolves, obviously with everything that's going on, but
mm,
I have a slight feeling, and again, it could be wrong, but I don't. I think Forest might falter this season. Like
I don't,
that,
I don't. Uh,
that's who I
I,
went with. But Wolves were a strong contender, even though as much again as I like Everton and I wanted to pick Everton, I just think Sean Dyche will come through now and actually get them playing some decent football.
mm.
Like, and that's gonna pay.
I don't think they'll play decent football. I just think
Oh
they'll
no,
just,
it'll be Sean Dyche football. So
yeah,
it is what you see is what you get, sort of thing. So
yeah,
yeah, I just think he's gonna manage to get some, do something with them, keep them up,
mm,
annoy me a little bit over it. But yeah, now I was toying with the idea of Wolves. Like I do think, like I say,
mm,
with the changes, they've not really signed anyone. They've got rid of players. I don't. Yeah, if I didn't pick Forest originally, like as a gut instinct, like I say, the Wolves one come in after I actually deeped and remembered that obviously the changes they've had. Like, but
mm,
they would be like my ones that I would pick if I hadn't already picked Forest. Like, but I'm gonna stick
yeah,
with what I went with first. But I do think the relegation battle this season is gonna be it's gonna be quite interesting, especially
mm,
with obviously without the World Cup. So I don't think the games are gonna come. The games won't be as quick in the build
yeah,
up. So I think
mm,
we will see a lot closer of a battle going into like mid season. So I think it will still be close around then.
yeah,
And then I think once that period picks up, I think then we'll start to see who's dropping off. But I kind of like the idea of Luna staying up, but I just don't think they'll have enough. Like I think,
yeah,
especially with all the money they've had to then spend to redo the stadium to make it up to standards and stuff, I think that
mm,
will have the impact on obviously how the squad's going to perform on the pitch.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's a hard one to pick them because there's a lot of teams, especially if they talk about how the Premier League's the best league in the world. Those more teams are they're mediocre. I don't know. Like you look at some of the players, you're just like, yeah, they're good players, but then is it the coaching? Because you would say some of these coaches are supposed to be good, right? So
Yeah,
what is the problem? What is the problem?
the best league in the world part always fascinates me. Obviously, because obviously you watch other leagues, I watch other leagues.
Mm.
It's definitely the in terms of money, it's the richest in the world. There's no arguing with that.
I
But
would say I would say it's the most entertaining. That's what I would say.
I'd say it's definitely entertaining because obviously with Spain, you pretty much know what kind of football you're gonna get. Italy, you kind of know what you're gonna get. The only thing
Hmm.
I'd say that separates the German league from it, in a sense, is for the most part, like probably 99% of the time, you know the teams are gonna fight. Even like I say, even them games where there's nothing on the line, like last games of the season, them
Mm.
teams are still fighting, even though there's nothing to fight for. So I think with them countries, you just get like that pure entertainment from football because they're playing.
Mm.
Whereas the Premier League, like I say, when they broke down on the average of how much time the ball was in play, and it's only 55 minutes, it's like it's kind of mad. But
That's
then
because
obviously going to games,
mm,
like even last season, I witnessed it. I think we was playing Leeds, and when it was 0-0, like
yeah.
the time wasting you get from these teams, it's just like it's 0-0. Like it's not like you're winning.
Mm.
Like, but then they go down, and all of a sudden, the mentality switches. Like let's get the ball back and play quick. So
Mm.
it's gonna be interesting though, especially this season now with the whole added on time business.
Well, that's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be major because I've seen KDB and his whiny comments as he does, you know, as like a little child, um, complaining about essentially you're gonna be playing extra time all the time, and it's like, well, that's life. Get on with it. You're a professional footballer. You're realistically speaking, like you expect you to play probably like 70, 75 minutes anyway. So yeah, I don't see why he's complaining personally. Like, just get on with it, kind of thing.
I think the only issue that's come out from it, and obviously I think I see it was like towards the back end of last season, or I think it was just after the season ended. Like the league and that was basically saying they wouldn't basically incorporate it, but then obviously the referees have decided through their board and everything that obviously that's the way
I
forward.
yeah,
So it's gonna be interesting.
yeah, I don't think did the refs agree to it because apparently, according to KDB, he spoke to the refs and they weren't happy with it at all. That's what
No,
he's
so
saying.
yes, I think because even Varane released a statement. So I think everyone. I don't think no one's really happy about it, but at the
Mm.
same time, as annoying it's going to be, especially like now when I think about it, because obviously I'm going to be at games. Like,
Mm.
and sometimes you just want to leave a game and like get back because you might have something else to do. It's like now you could have like 8 minutes, 9 minutes just from time
Yeah.
wasting. So the only thing I hope in it that it will do is hopefully kill the time wasting and teams will actually think, let's just stop it because obviously if we're time wasting, it's just gonna get added on. So we might as well just get on with the game. So that's the only benefit I can see coming from it, that it might actually kick it in. But
Mm.
then you've got to look at it from like certain players' perspective. I think we will see probably a few more injuries
Mm.
because of it. But like I say, I just hope that with it actually coming into play now, teams might actually focus on just playing football rather than time wasting. Because the one that always gets me, and there's a law for it, is the 6 second rule with the goalkeeper.
Mm.
I remember when it first come in, they clamped down on it. 3 games in, everyone forgot about it. It's like even now you watch it, a keeper will hold the ball for 10 seconds, but the law clearly states it's 6 seconds. So that's
Yeah.
the only interesting part I think we'll see
Yeah,
from.
they pick and choose what rules they wanna abide by. It's quite annoying to be quite honest. I can understand why they don't follow that rule, but
Now I can
it's still
understand,
annoying
but
nonetheless. Yeah.
I, I just think because it's there and it's a law, and they're always telling us about laws, enforce it.
Mm.
Because if you
Well, yeah.
enforce it, then teams might actually stop doing it. But like I said, I don't think we'll see much from it, but it will be interesting to see how it does play out.
Mm.
We'll find out tomorrow, especially though when obviously the season kicks off. Like we will be in for a treat to see if it actually does crop up, like and actually take an effect.
Mm.
So with that said, who do you see getting Golden Boot?
Well, that's a tough. That's well, not a tough one. I think it's going to be Haaland, but who's going to be his challenger? That's a tough one to say because obviously I know the Kane bid was accepted today. Obviously, he's got a choice to make. You
I think I
know,
see earlier on Sky Sports they're saying that he's looking to stay at Tottenham.
well, this
I think it's
this
a bit stupid, but
when it's confirmed, then yeah, I'll go with that. But it's not confirmed yet, so let's see what happens because obviously Sky Sports have got a tendency to say things and then all of a
oh,
sudden it magically changes.
don't worry,
So
I know that.
so I'll believe it when I see it. He'd be extremely stupid if he does, but that's down to
I
him
think it will,
ultimately. Like,
especially with all the chatter that's come out over the summer about it. That it's the team he wants to move to. What that happened?
well,
It might have been the person I work with, but I was saying it with. I reckon if you want to win, just go because at least then you know you're gonna have some trophies. Like
the only thing I will say is that if he does reject Bayern, don't be surprised if there's some miracle that United decide to go, oh yeah, here's the money. Because I keep on telling people this fair play
see,
nonsense the media wants to portray is not real.
see,
So
I've had that feeling. I have a feeling
because
that
because now
United's his choice.
we know what the fee is.
You can make a decision. But I've had a
Yeah.
feeling. I think United's his thing. Because who was it who said it? Someone was on. Might have been Sky Sports. I saw it on, and obviously, I think the Shearer record is something he wants to break. Like,
I hear that, but this is my problem. It's the fact that he could go to Bayern, spend 2 3 years there, come back and still break the record because he's not relying on pace. He's only going to be 32 going on 33. It's not like he's
yeah,
going to be 36. So to me, I don't think I don't buy it unless he's just totally obsessed with this record and don't want to win trophies, which is
that's the
quite sad.
only thing I would say is the rebuttal. That is how bad does he want to win?
Mm. Oh, plus as well, obviously he's got a young family, right? So obviously he might not want to go to Germany with his young family, because obviously the wife might not want to go, etc., etc., etc. So that's always that factor, isn't it? You know.
Yes, I think that is the thing. But like I say, if I was him, I
Mm.
would go for the few seasons because, like I say, I think he'll still be able to come back to the Premier League and still, providing there's no serious injuries in there, I still think he'll be easily playing until he's like 36, providing there's no big
Mate,
injuries in
to,
there and
to
the
be
rest.
to be quite honest, because he has no pace and he doesn't play with pace, I think he can play till 40. To be quite honest, I think he can do a Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah,
Honest to
no,
God,
I think he's definitely
yeah,
got that in him because, like I say, even now when you look at him and he drops off, like it's not like he's bursting with pace when he's got a clear thing. But I do
yeah.
think, again, like you, Haaland is my pick because I think with the additions City have made, and even looking at it in the Community Shield, you could see at times they were trying to play the direct ball
Hmm.
through now. So I think we might see more of that this season. I
Yeah,
do have a feeling if anyone's going to challenge him this season, I do think it will be Salah. I think Salah will probably rediscover his form this season and actually kick on. But I do put Kane there and thereabouts, providing he stays at Tottenham.
yeah,
But again, if I was Kane, not even probably, I would make the move just so
yeah,
come the end of my career, I can say what I've got a couple medals, but then I
mm,
do think Bayern will. I wouldn't say it makes them favorites for the Champions League, but I'll say it definitely puts them as
mate.
a
There
strong
would have
challenge.
to be. There would have to be like obviously. I always say yeah, you're gonna have 5 teams who stand out. Who you say okay, they could go for the Champions League. I think at the moment because they don't have a striker, I will put them just outside
That
that top five
same,
because obviously for me, they get a striker who's going to score goals. They are laughing because you look at the rest of the team. The rest of the team sorted. They got a goalkeeper. As much as obviously, is he still injured? Neuer? Is he
no,
back
he
yet?
was coming back towards the end of last season. So I think by the time the season starts, he should be
He
number
sh-
one
yeah.
or back in the goal. So it's like I say, that's going to be interesting. The defense is pretty much sorted. The midfield,
Mate, the defense is sorted. Like
yeah,
they've got like you look at the team, goalkeeper sorted, left back sorted, centre backs sorted. They got 2 young centre backs, yeah. Well, I say young, like the early 20s, right? And then you got Kingmin J, yeah. right?
Yeah,
Who's good as well. Obviously, they still got Pavard at right back at the moment, so
Kimmich
they
can
don't.
play right back if he's not playing in DM.
This is it. So the midfield sorted. Like wide players sorted. Like
They
the
got the
defense that
attacking midfielder sorted.
yeah. Yeah, the only problem is the striker role. Yeah, okay, cool. You can play Muller in the false nine, but
He works better if
I
he's got someone just ahead of him, though. I find,
I
and
think
I
he does. But the problem is if they don't buy a striker because they've tried the whole Mane experiment, that didn't
I'm
work.
not gonna lie. That one did surprise me at how bad it did flop.
I think it flopped because to be quite honest, I don't think you know what it is. I think that rumor what came out here where the players supposedly were upset because he was the top owner of the club, right?
Yeah,
I honestly think it was true because
actually,
realistically
could be.
speaking,
I
honest to God, because there's no you don't go here. I'm sorry, you don't go here from scoring like 20 plus goals, yeah, every other season, yeah, right? And then you're playing in Germany. I know this to Germany, it's a high line.
But you know
So
what's interesting about that, and it proved the point me and you were saying,
mm,
like in the group at the time,
mm,
that both Mane and Salah need each other more than anything. Because look how both of them, okay, Salah towards the end did start picking up and chipping in like with goals, but they both had bad seasons
yeah, yeah,
or what it
yeah.
was. So when you actually look at it,
Mm,
when they was together, it looks so much better. But that's
yeah,
the only
yeah.
reason why I think if Kane goes, Kane reminds me to this, and it will be similar to how it was when they had Lewandowski. Like, I think
Mm.
that's the kind of effect they will have.
Oh,
That's
he'll score goals. He'll score goals for fun. Like, yeah. Anyone. This is the thing. You get football fans here. We always want to take the piss out of certain players and all the rest of it. And like, listen, I got no doubts here. Can't go Germany. Yeah, he will score goals for fun. Like, I'm not gonna say he's gonna break Dusky's record
no, he won't
because,
break that. I don't think that that's not
obviously,
being beaten in our lifetime. I don't think.
but he'll stand a good chance because obviously Dortmund, bloody Munich are gonna obviously they're gonna create loads of chances as they do, and once he gets into the groove, yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
But I think helps him. He won't be relied to drop as deep in that team. They will leave him at the halfway line. I think they will leave him pushed forward because you won't need him to drop as deep.
The problem you have is we say that, but the problem we have is that he doesn't have to, but is he going to? You get what I'm saying?
And yeah, there's that aspect.
Yeah, there is that aspect because obviously I don't know, I don't know when it starts. It's just all a blur, but whenever it did start, it's like yeah, like
I
I can
think it
see what
started
he's
like
doing.
2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
Like
like
I think,
I can see what he's doing, but it's still like to me, if he just stayed in the box, he'll get so many goals, so many
yeah,
goals.
I think it started like towards the end of Poch's reign, like the dropping deep bit. That's when it kind of,
Yeah.
and then last season it would just seem to be
Mm.
like some phenomenon, and then yeah, it just didn't
Yeah.
work at all. But
Like
yeah,
I think it works if he's got runners both sides. The problem when he's at Tottenham, and once again, I like Kulusevski, but he doesn't do what Son does. Like
no,
he doesn't have that explosive pace. Like not to say he's slow, but he doesn't explode.
nah,
So,
you don't.
he's more of a the give me the ball and I'll dribble kind of
Yeah,
he
he'll
doesn't run
dribble at you rather than run at you.
he doesn't run into space. It's like Anthony at Man United. He doesn't run into space, whereas Rashford does. But the difference between Anthony and Kulusevski is that Anthony is very good at just holding the ball. Like
Yeah,
he'll play the spot pass. Whereas a lot of people be like, oh, that's dead, but he keeps the ball.
yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting though to see how they Tottenham looked under Postecoglou. Like
Yeah, to be quite honest, I don't think it's gonna be good, personally, because
I
if you
think
still
it's
got this
not
if
going to look good to begin with, like it kind of was at Celtic. But I think as the
yeah.
season goes on, I
I,
think he will develop the way he wants to play. So I think they will be in for a slow start.
I think if you still got the same players in general, then what changes? Honestly, what
That's
changes?
true.
If you got the same players, you got like Christian Romero, right? Good defender, but he's a psycho. He doesn't know when to just not cross that line. Like he must right now. You know, you got some defenders. You're just like decent player, but no brains. That's
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah, we got a few of those in the league.
Like he just makes the dumbest tackles. It's not even a tackle where he's legitimately trying to get the ball. It's just like he's clearly just not
Man
getting
out.
the ball. He knows he's not getting the ball, and then he gets a second yellow, and then it's like, oh, I'm off, and he looks shocked. And it's like, why are you looking shocked? Like you
I think we're
clearly
going
knew
to
what
see
you
a
was
feature of
doing.
that this season. You know.
Right, it's bad. It's extremely bad. But it is what it is ultimately. Like, I don't quite understand why he does it, but yeah, I don't see no change in Tottenham. You got players like bloody Emerson Royal, like, still there. Like,
Yeah,
you
Davison,
know, to
Davison
be quite
Sanchez.
to be quite honest, I doubt those kind of players will play much, but they're still there. And if they're still there,
They're
it
still a
breeds
problem.
into it breeds into other players, you know.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's all very good buying like, oh, what's the Dutch guy's name who they bought recently? I can't remember now.
I think
They bought him from was it Wolfsburg they bought him from
oh,
in Germany? I'm trying to remember his name now. He's a decent defender, but once again the problem is that sometimes he might play left back, sometimes he might play centre back. What is his position when he's at Tottenham? You know,
oh, I forgot they got Madison as well, innit?
yeah, but you're
Yeah,
changing the whole entire system. You're changing the whole entire system.
yeah, that one's wild.
Because I don't think they're going to be playing five in the back. To be quite honest, they're going to be playing a back four. Like
Yeah,
obviously,
I don't think I've ever seen him Postecoglou play like a five at the back. So he's been like four.
yeah, they're going to play a four, and you got the likes of Ed Dyer in your defense. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Like, and I actually like Eric Dyer, but not as a centre back.
No,
Him as
nah.
a centre back,
When he played DM, I
mm,
liked it.
yeah.
But I think as the last few seasons have gone on,
No,
like
but
a
he
lot of
likes.
players in the team, they've just kind of regressed instead of progress.
But you know what it is? He likes playing as a centre back, which I don't understand. Because to me, it's just like when he was at Sporting and he was coming through the youth ranks, he was a midfielder.
You know, that always cracks me up. I always
Like,
forget about that. The whole sport.
yeah, yeah. When he was at Sporting, get me, he was playing DM. Yeah, we all knew he could play centre back. It's like Harry Maguire. When he was coming through the youth ranks at Sheffield United, man was playing in midfield. He was a DM. And then all of a sudden they want to play centre back, and then it goes totally wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
that
you know,
uh, that's a.
like my question would be, what happened to all the technical ability that Harry Ryan had when he was a youngster?
I think who does he say? I think it was Flick, saying like his first season weren't too bad, but he's like, you feel like the
It,
pressure just got to him.
mate, what happened was, yeah, the man got too cocky, yeah, right? He got the captaincy, and then as soon as he started making mistakes, man was under pressure. And some people they can't handle pressure. You
Did
can
he
see on
sign
his
for
face.
United the year he had the issue in Greece, or was he already a United player at that point?
No, he was already a United player.
Okay, yeah, so I think that's when his career started going
Yeah. So
downhill.
he basically we it was it was Ollie's was it Ollie's second season? Yeah, so I think it was his
Must
first
have been
full
first full season.
his first full season. Yeah, it was his first full season because we signed him. I think it was at the back end of the window. I think it was like the end of August we signed him,
Yeah, it was towards the end.
and then it was a panic buy clearly because how do you go from Mourinho wanted to sign him and then the board says no, and then you sign him a year later? Like to
Yeah,
me, that tells you that's a panic buy. Then after a few months, he gets the captaincy, and then he was playing okay, and then he just went downhill. Like I said, the pressure got to him. But he'll if he does go West Ham, if he does, I think it'd be a good move for him because West Ham play the sort of football he wants to play. It's a sit there, defend, don't come out of the box, and all the rest of it. That will
and not
work for him.
and there's not as much pressure in a sense.
Oh no, there's pressure, Just a
No,
like
there is.
you
It's just
play
not.
you.
It's just not that Man
It,
United kind of
yeah,
pressure.
it's not Man United pressure, but West Ham fans are horrible, and yeah, if you're not doing well, they'll tell you about it. That's for
Oh, they
sure.
will. It's going to be interesting though, because everyone's obviously over the last few years just slagged that guy off, and then now imagine your club signed him. Now you got to kind of back the guy.
No, you don't have to back him. You don't
Now
have
you
to
don't
back
have
him.
to, but
Yeah.
you're going to start backing him to begin with, and then obviously
No,
as
no,
those
no, no,
big
no.
mistakes come out,
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it'll
no, no.
make your feelings.
Listen, listen. You see me beside Maguire, yeah? I told a whole bunch of people this guy is gonna be the biggest flop. He's got no pace. Why we signed a defender with no pace? We play attacking football. He's got no pace. So what's gonna happen is what happens. Like I don't like to me, like he'd be perfect for West Ham, but I don't think they'll back him per se because at the end of the day, like his arrogance is so wild. Yeah, and some of the stuff he comes out with is just so ridiculous. It's like he just rubs people the wrong way, and that is the biggest thing for me. It's not even his performances. Everyone can have a bad game, but it's what he says after the
Off the
fact.
game.
Yeah, like he's just untouchable. It's like no, you're touchable.
It's going to be interesting what his England place now as well, because obviously he needs to have a very good season with the Euros
no,
just
no,
around the
he's
corner.
safe. No, he's safe. Southgate ain't gonna drop him. Who's he dropping him for? Southgate's got no balls.
That's true because Smalling
Southgate
don't get in, Tamori don't
Smalling,
get
Smalling, Tomori are prime examples where, but then man's talking about how Henderson will get into the squad though. Doesn't matter. He's only in Saudi. That come on, the Southgate's a fraud. And to that, yeah,
No, you know who
I
made me
mean,
laugh? Though? It was the Simon Jordan thing saying he wants a winner. And I was thinking that's an interesting comment considering Capello, Sven Göran Eriksson, they won stuff. But I just think to be the manager of England, I don't really think it matters. I just think you just need someone who's just going to be ruthless and just go out and pick the best players.
to be
Because
quite
Southgate,
honest,
for me,
yeah,
Southgate started well when he didn't have his little set team. But then
to
obviously,
be
like every manager, it come in
uh,
and then it just stayed there.
to be quite honest, the only way England's winning anything is that they get extremely lucky. Not because they're a good team, because they're extremely lucky. Everything has to fall in place. I don't see it happening. That's honest to God. I don't see it happening. I just think like, yeah, like that. Yeah, I just don't see it happening personally. I don't. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, England could have the best team in the world, but they just don't like when it comes to the biggest moments, they crumble. Like they always crumble. It's like they had the final in their own backyard. They had to kill it off without a shadow of a doubt the weakest Italian team we've seen in decades.
Yeah, because that Italian team just be
In
struggling to get to the World Cup too.
mate, they're not qualifying for the World Cup. I could tell you
Is
that for
it the
free.
last two World Cups they've missed?
Probably free. Like it's
I
probably
know there's
free.
definitely two of recent times they've missed, like
Yeah,
European champion, because
mate,
they,
mate,
ironically, they lost to North Macedonia. North Macedonia was ones that knocked them out.
mate, we're not. I'm not surprised by this. The team is weak. Like you look at their team, like it's just filled yeah with either old players or players who are just simply not good enough. Like you know, the fact that up to recent times there was still like Benucci,
Killing.
Chiellini, like these guys. Yeah, no offense to them, they're my age. But if I was playing football, I wouldn't want to be playing for Jamaica at that age. I would like to think of that maybe younger players
Younger
who
players
want to.
coming through.
Yeah, like why are they blocking the pathway at that
Yeah,
age? Like it's mad. Being in the squad is
interesting.
one thing. Being in the squad is one thing, but to be a regular starter at
Yeah, he went
international
out
level,
too, and it
mate.
went one of them captain.
Yeah, Chiellini was captain, and then when
Yeah.
Chiellini left, Benucci was captain. Has Benucci left Juventus yet? Because Juventus don't want him anymore.
Oh no,
They said they want to get rid of him.
oh no, they're
It's,
having a madness today, isn't it? Because they had the pitch invasion
so
over the whole.
what pitch invasion?
Oh, at the open training, you didn't see the pitch invasion at open training in the
No,
protests about the Lukaku signing. Oh,
no,
mate. Oh,
no, no. I've been too busy dealing with all sorts of madness that is central, like with these stupid ass
oh,
kids.
uh, one second.
mate, I,
One second. You lot put your predictions in the bottom, and then we'll come back and we'll see how we all got on.